All right, hey everybody, welcome back to All Music with Todd Ledbetter, and today we are doing the top six picks albums of the year 1977. This was a pretty tough year as well, but I think I pretty much figured it out. There's a lot of stuff that kind of jumped on my list and then fell off. I could easily do a top 10, but I want to reserve that for the middle of the decade and the end of the decade. So like I did my 1974 special edition, I'll do a 1979 special edition top 10 as well. So we're going to keep it at the top six for now. And we're going to go ahead and get started with my number six pick for 1977 of my favorite albums, Rumors by Fleetwood Mac. Huge selling album. My mom had this album when I was a kid, 1977. She would play this in her car constantly. We took road trips across the country, and this song was being played over and over in the car on her cassette player. A fantastic album, huge, huge hit, one of the best-selling albums of all times. You got 58 minutes. Oh, this has got a bunch of deluxe stuff on it. So yeah, it's hard to know how many minutes exactly it is, but here's the main songs here. Secondhand News, Dreams, Never Go Back Again, Don't Stop, Go Your Own Way, Songbird, The Chain, You Make Lovin' Fun, I Don't Want to Know, Oh Daddy, Gold Dust Woman, and Silver Springs. Just a great album, and the album flow is really good too. So many hits on this. I don't remember if Secondhand News was a hit or not. It was a pretty big song. Don't Stop is definitely a big hit. Go Your Own Way is a huge hit. You Make Love and Fun. The Chain has got that great bass line in it. So yeah, just a really, really great album. Released in 1977 from Fleetwood Mac. I think I may, even after I finish this, I may go back and start back from 1960 and go do the decade of the 60s, because Fleetwood Mac was instrumental in that period too, but a totally different band back then. It was a blues band with Peter Green and this Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham lineup, they weren't even involved back then. A very different band. So maybe one of these days I'll get to that as well. But nevertheless, an excellent album, and it is deserving of my number six slot for 1977. I love it. A lot of these albums I actually had when they came out, because this is right at the time where I'm a seventh grader and I'm starting to get into all my music that I like. Let's see. So my number five song for 1977 is Queen, News of the World. Where is it? Here it is. Queen, News of the World. I had this album and I loved it. This was pretty much my introduction to Queen, and then like I said in previous shows where I featured some of the Queen albums, I went back and found more music of theirs that I liked. But of course, We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions, those two songs really shouldn't be played separate from each other. Sheer Heart Attack, just a dead-on rocker. All Dead, just a great song. Spread Your Wings and Fly Away. Fight from the Inside, another crazy rocker. Get Down, Make Love, that's a great song. Sleeping on the Sidewalk, Who Needs You. All right, let's see. Got a little alert for my credit card. That's cool. Good thing I don't owe anything on it. Let's see, where are we? Sleep on the Sidewalks. Oh, It's Late. I like that song. Melancholy Blues, another one of those kind of 40s sounds. And then, oh, there's a bonus track down here of We Will Rock You. It's a remix thing by Rick Rubin. So that's not part of the original album. But very good album. I love the album art. Very cool. I've stared at that many hours, hours on end. So Queen, News of the World, my number five pick for 1977. Let's see. Let's go to my number four pick. which is none other than ELO right here in front, Out of the Blue. I had both of these albums at the same time. Had these in my bedroom, and I would play them all the time. This was a wonderful album. Turn to Stone, great song. It's Over. Turn to Stone was a hit. Sweet Talking Woman was a hit. Across the Border, Night in the City, Starlight, Jungle. This is a double album, by the way. Believe Me Now, Stepping Out, Standing in the Rain, Big Wheels, Summer and Lightning, cool song. Mr. Blue Sky, I think we've all heard that. And Sweet as the Night and The Whale. Oh, let's see. Birmingham Blues and Wild West Hero. So that's a pretty good album. That's 17 songs. That's an hour and 10 minutes long. 2-album set. Lots to listen to there. But very fun. I enjoyed that album a lot for many, many, many years, and still one of my favorites of that year to be released. Only my number one album choice of this year I didn't have. Of course, the number 6 Fleetwood Mac Rumors my mom had, but Queen News of the World I had then when it came out. ELO I had, and also my number 3 song, we're halfway through the list, I also had, which was a huge album for me. Loved it very much, and it is right here, Styx Grand Illusion. Loved this album. Listened to it over and over and over. And this album, they had Tommy Shaw on guitar and lead vocals, sharing lead vocals there. Great album. The Grand Illusion, Fooling Yourself, Superstar, Come Sail Away. I think we all know that one. Miss America is a great rocker. Man in the Wilderness, Castle Walls, and the grand finale. Super good album. 8 songs, 39 minutes, and definitely a classic Styx album. Favorite for sure. Let's see, let's go right into my number 2, which is also, I played these albums, ELO, Styx, Queen, Kansas, Point of No Return. All of these were in my record collection, and this was the sort of the beginning of my record collection of ones that I purchased myself. This is a fantastic album. I was just floored. Kind of, it's definitely kind of on the proggy side. Same with ELO and Styx. More. They still give a little bit of prog influence, and Kansas a little bit of prog influence at this point still too. The opening song, Point of No Return. This album is just so fun to listen to, just from start to finish. Paradox, The Spider, Portrait, He Knew. That's a great song. Closet Chronicles. I could say that's a great song after each one of these. Lightning's Hand, Dust in the Wind. Huge, huge hit for the band. Sparks of Tempest, Nobody's Home, Helplessly Human. And then they got a couple of live songs here that didn't come on the original track. So there's 10 songs here originally. So very, very good album. Point of No Return by Kansas. I loved it. I love that album cover art, the ship and the world, and it's funny how they spell Point of No Return, K-N-O-W. Why is that weird? Of no return. Shouldn't it be N-O, or what are they trying to say? Not sure. I guess I'll have to dive into some Wikipedia stuff on that. All right, well, let's get down to my number 1 pick for 1977. Probably a lot of people's number 1 picks in the rock and roll genre. And there it is right there in front of me. Animals by Pink Floyd. Great, great album. Just so cool. Very politically charged album. Sort of very poignant today, I would imagine. Pigs on the Wing 1, Dogs, Pigs, 3 different ones, Sheep, and Pigs on the Wing 2. Super cool album. Love it very much. It's hard to pick a number 1 because some of the albums on this list are pretty much classic albums of mine, but I think it's the atmosphere of this album, mixed with the brilliance of the songs and the lyrics. But I think too there's an atmosphere that really draws you into this album, and that's what I really like about it. It's definitely sonically pleasing. And, of course, David Gilmour's guitar work is just phenomenal. So that's a real added asset to that song. So just the whole package put together just makes that my number one on the list. So let's go ahead and start from number 6, and we'll read them up. We got on number 6, Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. Number 5 is Queen, News of the World. ELO, Out of the Blue, double album. Styx, Grand Illusion. Love that album, so good. Kansas, Point of No Return, and Pink Floyd, Animals. My number one pick for 1977. A lot of albums released in 1977. It's really hard to pick. Steely Dan Asia was released then. In Color by Cheap Trick. Low by David Bowie. Let's see. Oh, the Sex Pistols was also released. Nevermind the Bollocks. Oh, another album I had back then was the Billy Joel Stranger album. Super great. A Farewell to Kings by Rush. Meatloaf's Bat Out of Hell 1. That was released in 1977. The Ramones, Rocket to Russia. Steve Miller Band, Book of Dreams. Yes, Going for the One. Great album. Let's see, The Jam, In the City. Kiss's Love Gun. Slow Hand by Eric Clapton. Great album. Running on Empty by Jackson Browne. Let's see, what else we got? Songs from the Wood by Jethro Tull. Santana's Moonflower. Even Linda Ronstadt's Simple Dreams was released. Let's see, the Talking Heads was released. And Cat Scratch Fever by Ted Nugent. Supertramp, Even in the Quietest Moments. That's another beautiful album. That would be definitely in my top 10. Just didn't quite make it. So Judas Priest, Sin After Sin, if you like. And then, of course, another Genesis album was released in 77, but I didn't choose it because it's a live album, and I'm not doing live albums. I did one in 1970, but after 1970, I decided I'm going to save live albums for a whole nother show, and we'll do best live albums, like the top 3 of the year or something like that. Also, Peter Gabriel's very first solo album came out too, his self-titled Peter Gabriel. So just a lot of music and albums to choose from that were classic albums, still to this day are very, very relevant. So that's my list for 1977. Super excited to get there, and I'm gonna move on, and we're gonna keep going get the 70s all finished out, and I will check back with you in 1978. So hang tight because we're there in just a few minutes. Bye bye. See you there.